Hey y'all, quick clip, November 19th. It's Thursday. It was beautiful here in Roseville today. It was over 60 degrees. It's, as you can see, it's after 5, about 5:30. It's still just about 60 degrees. Sun's down. Beautiful day. It was so beautiful. I called the track. I called Kurt and said, hey, is there any way I can get my hot rod out there and just cut? I only need about 10 laps, man, just to get the water temp up, to operating temperature, and then in a couple laps just to make sure it stays there and it doesn't fluctuate. We'd swap the gauge. Really, the last option we had from Micron to solve this drastically dropping and jumping up water temperature when you're on or off the gas. On the gas, the number jumps up. Off the gas, the number falls quickly. Not a good thing. So he said no. He said no, can't do it. No EMTs, the insurance liability, but hey, you can't blame a guy for trying. I tried. Going to be even nicer, I think, out there and here tomorrow. So we out here playing around and got a bunch done today. Cut the nut bar off, notched it out, measured obviously first, then moved it over. It's not exactly in the middle between the headrest and the pedals. It's still just a little bit left of that center. But it's a lot better. As you can see, it was right in the middle, and we're a lot closer here than we are here. So we moved it about 3/4 of an inch, tacked it in place. I climbed up in, laid down, perfect, beautiful. We go any more than that, and it's going to start getting uncomfortable in here on the legs. We don't want to get bruised and beat up trying to have a good time, right? So it's good. It's good. I'm happy with that right there. We're working on the tank extension. We're going with 5/16 button head, stainless steel button heads in here. So I just went ahead and popped 1/4 inch holes and put it on because we're going to go bigger. And then of course we're trying to project the crank out. We're using a 12 millimeter deep well. It just fits over the crank, right? And then we just run around there with a grease pencil around the end and project that right out. And that'll get us close. What we'll do is we'll put a small hole in there and we'll eyeball it, right? And then we'll just open it up to where it needs to be. This is our Grattan gear, so this is primarily, our starting point. It should just go backwards from there because Mid-Ohio we're going to put a bigger gear on the front and same gear here, so that's going to bring it back. If we went to Gingerman, we'd run the same gear on the front and bigger gear on the back, which brings it back. So we're really not going to go any more forward than this, but we will give ourselves maybe a 1/2 inch in front of this and say a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch behind. So it'll be a nice little slot in there and we'll be covered. We won't have to do any filing, grinding, hacking away at the racetrack. That's when these things get butched, is when you start trying to alter them at the racetrack, doing your homework when you're already there. So once we get past there, that piece is done. Other than, drilling it out for the bigger holes, we're going to just tap the 5/16 in those existing tabs that are on the tank. So no inserts needed there. Next we'll take the tins out and we'll address this here. We'll remove all these snaps. We'll probably warm this up a little bit, stick something in there and straighten that rail out. We'll grind all this clag off and get everything metal finished. After we get all the paint off, when it's completely disassembled, we get all the paint off. Rich is going to come over and we're going to grind on some of these booger welds, and he's going to put nice, maybe fat, but nice looking welds in there like these. That's about it for chassis, right? We're going to work on at least strengthening up this spindle here with a little 1/2 inch wide plate that ties into the top, bottom, and the side because it's been broke and it's been welded. Proper thing to do would be to find some way of replacing this. I don't think I want to work this hard or that hard on this thing. And we go ahead and box this in as well. Just try to strengthen them up as best we can. If it becomes a problem later on, then we'll look at it. But if we get it off and we find that it's cracked or something, we may have to do something with them as it is. But for right now, we're just going to try to fix it up. I mean, I don't like all the booger snot weld that's inside there, but I don't know what they did. I don't know how it was broken and what they did. So grinding it out of there and trying to rebuild or something, I don't know. we'll just have to see how it goes once we get it off and we get the paint off it. We'll inspect it and see what's happening. But that's it. Next, like it says, is tearing her all down and getting the paint off this thing and addressing the issues from there. So we're making some progress. Rich did the wheels yesterday. He welded them all up and putting them in the vise on a spindle and spinning them. They aren't any more out of whack than they were when I gave them to him. So success, right? I think we'll be able to use these probably as spare front wheels on this thing here, or maybe we'll use them on here. And the 5-inch that we've got here will move onto the rear, and the 550s we've got on the back we may be able to use for something else. Maybe, you know, the shifter cart. Who knows? We just don't know. It never hurts to have a whole bunch of extra wheels and different shapes and sizes. You can put different tires on them and get different diameters out of them, which always helps tune things in. So that's it for now from RPM out here in Racing Roseville. We're just playing around. The world's losing its mind, but we're just doing our thing. That's it, y'all. God bless, Godspeed. We're praying for you, and I mean that. You know I do. Hang in there, folks. It'll get better. Love y'all.